It's that zesty flow, no shame on the flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that zesty flow. In the last class, I gave you a small introduction about what is nested classes, right? So let me just repeat whatever I have discussed with respect to next class. Means nested classes. Then we will see an example and we will discuss how to use nested classes, right? So as the name itself says, nested classes, in the sense, if you are writing a one class within another class, then it is called as a nested class. Like how might be the syntax? So syntax will be a simple class, say x, within this particular class, if you have a something called a class y. Okay, so this is nothing but nested class. Okay, where your class x is called as outer class and your class y is called as inner class, right? So if we are talking, because topic heading is a something like this: nested classes, nested and inner classes, I think nested and inner classes, right? I just wanted to give you a difference between what is a nested classes and what is a inner classes, right? Nested classes, in the sense, the approach wherein which you are putting a one class within another class, right? This is nothing but a nested classes, right? If we are explicitly talking about this particular class y, right? If we are explicitly talking about this particular class y, then we are talking about something called as inner classes, right? So what the heading justifies is, if you have a nested classes, that means if you have a nested classes syntax, then how this particular inner classes will be accessed, right? We need to discuss how to access, so means how to create object of this particular inner class, what are the properties with respect to that particular inner class, and all those things, right? So those are some, means that discussion comes to a inner classes, right? So in which scenario we want to go with nested classes? That means why require something called as a nested class, right? In the last class, I gave you a small example. I said that if there is no existence of one particular object until and unless there is a creation of a one object, that means we have seen an example class car, right? So within a class car, I said that there will be a something called as engine class, right? So what does this means? Until and unless you have a car object defined, right? Until and unless you have a car object defined, you cannot have a something called as engine. That means if you don't have a imagination of a car itself, then how can you go with a specification of an engine, right? What I mean to say is, if I want to create object of this particular engine, first I need to have a car, right? If I have a car, then only I can talk with the engine, right? Another example, just to relate the concept. Okay, say for example, there is a something called as university, right? So under this particular university, you will be having departments. Now, what I mean to say is, until and unless there is a university, I cannot have something called as departments, right? Until and unless I have an object of a university, I cannot have the objects of a departments. Say for example, I am deleting my university. That means I'm closing the university, right? So what does it mean? If a university does not exist, then where will be the existence of those departments, whatever you are talking about, right? Clear with a question called a why and a what are a nested classes, and a what does the mean, what is the meaning of when we are talking about inner classes name explicitly. Any doubts with respect to this particular introduction, you can post. If no doubts, we will see the example on this. Question in the chat box. Nested and inner classes are the same or different? See, nested class is nothing but an approach. Putting one class in another class. That is nothing but an approach, right? What I mean to say is that is the structure. Nested classes is nothing but a structure, right? If you are talking about any properties, then we will be talking about properties with respect to inner class, right? When I say inner class, I am just talking about this particular part, inner class, whichever is enclosed in a car, right? So whichever is enclosed in the outer class, I'll be talking about that particular class itself. If I'm talking about a nested class, then I'll be talking about a complete structure, right? Be clear with the terminology. If I say nested class, if I say nested classes, then I'll be talking about both the classes. If I say nested classes, I'll be talking about both the classes. If I say inner class, then I'll be talking only with respect to this particular inner class, not the enclosing class. Are you clear with the purpose when to go with? Shall we proceed with an example? Yes, sir. Okay, right. Before I proceed with an example, on my desktop, I have a folder called a test. So under a folder called a test, let me create one more folder. So this is with respect to nested classes, right? I have created one folder in this. Now, let me create one normal class file and name it as something like I just gave a name as a X. Okay, so within this particular class, if I am creating a class X, font is small, right, and a class Y, right? I'm not writing any statements inside of that particular classes. I'm just defining a two classes, right? Now, if I compile this particular file, will it give any error? CD desktop, on a desktop I have a something called a test, under a test I have a something called as nested class, right? Any errors if I compile this particular program? Fast,
No,
be
sir.
fast. No error, right? Okay, so let me compile this particular program, and after compilation, how many class files it will create? Java C x.java, right? If I compile, how many class files it will create? Two class
Two, sir.
files. What will be the names of those two class files? One will be a x dot class and another one will be a y dot class, right? Okay, let me just cross check. Is it creating those two files for me or not? Compiled fine. Once a compilation is finished, so you can see that x dot class and the y dot class have been generated, right? So no doubts with respect to this particular point, right? Now just let me delete these particular two files, right? Now instead of writing a class y outside, let me keep it inside a class x. Is this a now nested class approach? Yes. When you are saying a nested class approach, and if you compile the program, how many class files it should create?
One.
One.
One class file. What will be the name of that particular class file?
X.
X. Shall we just cross check? Is it creating only one class file or is it creating a two class files? If a one class file is created, whether the name is just a x dot class, and what about a class y? Will there be any reference for that or how? Means, are you getting any questions in your mind? compiled, what it has done, created a two class files. One class file name is a x dot class, and another class, which was another class, the another class was a y class, and it has not given a name as a y dot class, rather it has given x dollar y. Is it something different now? Yes. So this particular notation indicates that your means your class y is not an independent class, rather it is the part of this particular class called x. Understood? When you have a nested class approach, right, those class files will be compiled in such a fashion that outer class will be having a class name followed by dot class, a separate file. Whichever nested class you have, those nested classes will be having a class files generated with a reference to your outer class. If I directly tell this statement, a lot of confusions. Are you clear with the example? Did you got an idea of a nested class? Nested class in the sense it cannot be directly accessed now. There should be a reference created with respect to outer class. Then only you can go with the inner class. Right? Shall we proceed further? Shall we? I'm doing the things step by step just to make you comfortable with the things. Now, with respect to this particular class X, can I write some main method? Public static void main string, yeah, right? So within this particular main method, let me write system dot out dot println from, means this particular main method, now it is a part of a class X, right? It is not a part of a class Y, right? Main method from class. Are you able to understand what are the changes I'm doing? Previously, I have just compiled a program by just not including any statements with respect to our classes. But when I want to run the program, obviously I need to have a main method. So I am introducing that particular main method in a class X, right? So now let me just compile the program. Class files generated will be the same because you are not changing anything with respect to a class structure. It will be the same. And if I run the program, I need to execute small x, that was a class name given. Yes. Main method from class X. Right? Clear with these things. Do you remember how exactly the means JVM is going to work with this particular example? No doubts in this example, right? How it is going to identify that particular main method and how it is going to run that particular system.out.println statement. No doubts, right? Shall I do a small modification? Now the small modification is, now this particular main method, right, which was declared in a class X, right? Let me write in a class Y. Right? Now, can I compile the program? Shall we check? What is the error? Illegal static declaration in the inner class x dot y. Public static void main modifier static is not allowed in a constant variable declarations, right? So what does it meaning is, you cannot include anything as a static inside this particular inner class, right? Within this particular area of inner class, you cannot have anything which is called as a static. If you understood this particular aspect, no, so you are comfortable. So means I can make sure that you are comfortable with whatever the things we have discussed until now. Can anybody explain why it is showing this particular error? Is this a valid question to be asked at least? Now let us just, sir, it has written only allowed. Okay. I'm just checking why it is not allowing that particular static variables to be written there. right? Okay, so let me just cancel this part. Right now, whether class y is a part of a x, yes, it is a part of a x. What we have said until now, if you want to have an object of this particular y, you have to create object of x, then only you can go with a object of a y. That means then only you can enter this particular section, right? So this is nothing but giving a security for a class y, right? So what we are saying is, if you want to enter to a class y, first you need to be a member of a class x, right? Until and unless you are the member of a class x, you cannot enter into this particular class y. This is what the definition says, right? So now what is the exactly meaning of this one with respect to a JVM architecture? With respect to JVM architecture, we are going to say that until and unless there is a creation of object with respect to x, you cannot access the object of a, so means you cannot access the methods of your class y, right? So now when you are running a program, when you are compiling a program, means during the compilation it has given you an error. I am saying that why this particular rule has been written, saying that there should not be any static content with respect to inner class, because once you say a class, can I say it is a prototype, right? When it is a prototype, there should be object, then only by using that particular object you can access this particular prototype, right? Now if I am calling a Java, right, if I am calling inner class, that means how to call inner class? I cannot directly call inner class, because first I need to create object of outer class. Can I create object of outer class directly at a command prompt? Not possible. How to create object of outer class? I need to type x, so means x class object is equal to new x. This is how I will be creating object of your outer class. Can I write these kind of statements in a command line? Not possible, right? When object creation is not possible in a command prompt, then obviously you cannot access that particular class. Are you able to understand, right? When a main method was here, say for example, when a main method was written here, when a main method was written outside of a class Ax, yes, so obviously you have made it as a static. So when you have made it as a static, during the class load event itself, this method will be taken into a memory, no problem, right? When it is inside of a class Y, then first it has to create object of outer class, then only it can go for a loading of a class Y. Are you able to understand? Until and unless there is a creation of an object with respect to outer class, it cannot load inner class. Is that clear? Now the conclusion is, your main method can be a part of your outer class, but cannot be a part of an inner class, right? Why it cannot be a part of inner class? Because inner class cannot be accessed until and unless you create object of outer class, and this is not possible during the runtime. Again, I'm telling you, modifying a program is not to confuse, to give you a better clarity. Any questions? See, again, I'm telling you, whatever I am discussing is the basics. So means starting of this particular topic. If you have any questions, be clear now itself. So we can write a main in inner class. Then why we need? We cannot write main method in an inner class. See, writing, so means when you are writing a class, every time it is not something like I need to write a main method itself, right? So if you want to declare some variables, methods, you can declare all those things. See, that is the reason why I gave you an initial example, saying that if you have a requirement something like this, after creating a car object itself, you want to create an engine object. If you have those scenarios, then only go with the nested classes, right? Now, main method is, will you start a car? So means, will you operate with respect to a car, or will you directly work with the engine? You will not directly work with the engine, right? You will be using a complete car. Now the engine will be a part of a car, right? So means whenever somebody is describing they will be saying like he is going in a car. Nobody will say like he is sitting on the engine and going. It means nobody will say like that, right? So outer class will be having a main method. Intention is that is a main class, right? So from that particular main class, all other things will start working. Shall we proceed? We have not seen a complete example how to work with the nested classes. We are just discussing what are the few important conclusions which you need to keep in the mind when we are writing a program with respect to a nested class, right? When you are writing a program with respect to a nested class, make sure that in the inner classes you are not declaring anything as a static, right? And make sure that you are not going to write a main method in the inner class, right? Third point, make sure that every time the object of outer class need to be created first before you go to the methods or variables which are declared in the inner class, right? Shall we declare some variable and just cross check how to access that particular variable, right? So within this particular inner class, can I write int x is equal to 10? Yes, you can write, no problem in that, right? Within this particular main class, can I write a method void m1, and the work of this particular m1 is to print system dot out dot let me remove this particular statement from a main. Till now, are you clear with the program? What are the things we have done? We have a outer class called a x, right? In a outer class called a x, we have a inner class written which is called as a class y, right? So within this particular class y, I have a declared one x variable, that is a instance variable of a class y, and then I have a declared your method m1, and the method m1 is just printing a whatever is the value of x, right? Now how to print, so means how to call method m1 is the question, right? Did you understood? Okay, so if a method m1 was defined as a part of a class x, we can directly create object of that particular x, and by using that object you can directly call a m1, right? Now it is not the case. What is the case now? First you have to create object of x, then by using the object of x you need to create object of y. So whichever object has been created by using a y, using that particular object, you need to call the method m1, right? Shall we write those instructions? Right. Now object of outer class need to be created. X obj is equal to new x, created outer class object, right? Now using that particular outer class object as a reference, we need to create inner class object, right? So obj dot y space, so means new object, I will say this one is a inner class object, is equal to new x dot y. Here with respect to in, I can call m1. Let me just cross check. I have a small doubt in this particular information. Let me just cross check once. Java C X dot Java package obj does not exist. One second. Small confusion with respect to syntax of creation. One second. Let me just clarify the things first. x.java obj.y object does not exist. One second, let me just cross check the syntax. Outer dot inner in is equal to, okay, this is a shortcut. Don't want to go with the shortcut. Outer object outer dot inner, so in is equal to, okay, I need to write just small difference. Outer object dot new of y. Created outer class object. So with respect to outer dot inner, that means outer class dot inner class, I need to create a new object. So that is with reference to a previous object created, create a new inner class. Right. We compiled, compilation is fine. Class name is X, compiled it fine. Right. So a small confusion was there with respect to which reference need to be taken. You have to specify outer class first, right? So this is how the file has been created, right? So now after when you have a nested class kind of a concept, then obviously class name you have to give first. So for this particular y, class name will be a x dot y, not a just y. You are creating an object called a in is nothing but a name of object, right? So what should be your new object? It should take a reference from a previous object that has been created with respect to outer, then a new with respect to a class y, right? Seems something like a, what I mean to say, it's a new way of writing a things, but during a runtime, see, generally how you will be creating object of a y, you will be writing y object is equal to new y. This is how you will be creating object of your any class called a y. Now what I'm saying is this particular y will not be a just y, rather it will be x dot y. Why? Because when it was a creating a class, we have seen that it was a creating a class file in a order x dollar y, right? So what does it mean now? You don't have a normal class file in the background, rather you have a x.y as a class name, right? So given a class name, specified object name, we need to create a new object. So we are saying create a new object, yes, but with respect to a previous object whichever has been created already, right? So just specifying a previous object dot new. This is the only thing which is a new aspect. That means new way of writing an instruction. Apart from this, everything is a previous one itself. That means the way how we have given a previously, in the same way we are giving this particular object creation statement.
Sir, can you explain any x dot y in object dot new, because I got confused here.
Where?
In the last part when you are calling.
Last part. Okay. One second. I might have a cross check the syntax before I start writing the program. Mistakes. Okay. See, class X is outer class and class Y is the inner class, right? So in an inner class, you have declared some variable and you have specified some method. Okay. Now, according to our syntax, so means according to our description, whatever we said, if you want to access this particular M1, first there should be existence of object class. So means first there should be a existence with respect to outer class object, right? So that is the intention. First we are creating outer class object, right? So now when you have an outer class object ready, right, then by using that you can create inner class object, right? So what I mean to say is when you have an outer class object ready, which is outer class object, say for example, let me write this one as out, just specifies that outer class object, right? Now what I'm saying is with respect to this outer class object, you need to create inner class object, right? So what does it mean then? By keeping this particular outer class object as a reference, you need to create inner class object, right? By keeping outer class object as a reference, we need to create inner class object. Yes, to, so means you are creating object in this particular right hand side of equation, that means equal to symbol. Now this object created, I am assigning to a variable which is called as in, right? So what type of a in object it is? It is not just a type of a y, rather it is a type of x dot y.
Sir, why we are writing in?
That is a name of an object, inner class object. Just to specify that that is an inner class object, I wrote it as a in, and for a outer class, just I wrote it as a out, specifying that that is a outer class object. Shall I write in object, out object, right? By keeping out object as a reference, I have created in object, right? So now this in object will be having a provision to access this particular method, right? So by using a in object, I can call method yum. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any questions? Yes.
What about if we make the method ml int?
I didn't get your question.
The
What
method,
about?
method ml is just it's void, yeah.
What about?
Method ml in the inner classes is void.
Yes.
What about if we made it int?
This one int.
Make it int and
If you are making it as a int, then obviously you will be writing some return statement. When you are writing a return statement, you need to equate this particular object with some integer value. It will work as a normal method only.
can work like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem in that. See, till a creation of object will be means a bit tricky process. Means we need to follow the rules like a first outer class, then only going to inner class. But once we are able to point at that particular inner class, then a normal way how you will be using the access, how you will be using the methods and the variables, in the same fashion you can access your inner variables, means inner class content. Shall we proceed further? Now, let me comment these statements. Let me comment this statement. Instead of writing 3 statements, can I combine all these 3 in a one statement and write a final thing? Let me cross check a syntax. Should not give a hype simply.
Sir, can you back to the previous slide?
One second. Huh.
Yes, okay.
This is one way of referring to your inner class method. Another way is there, that is there in a PPT. Let me just show you. Directly creating outer class object with a reference of inner class. It is something like this. Not for the sake of a confusion, I'm just saying like, is this a creating outer class reference? So means inner class reference. Right. Now, if I say in of x, will it create inner class object? Dot new y. How the things will be working now? Inner class object has been created. By keeping that one as a reference, outer class object has been created. Right? So where you are assigning all these things? You are assigning all these things to a in object. Right? Now, by using a in object, I can directly call a method called a m1. This is another way of pointing to a method m1 which is defined in a class y. Right? There is one more way. Which is that one more way? Don't refer anything, just write new x, new x dot new y. Am I creating objects of these things when I call new x? Yes, new x in the sense create object of that particular x class, right? Dot new y in the sense create an object of that particular y class, right? Keeping this particular x as a reference, right? Now, once you are able to create object of x, once you are able to create object of y, can I call m1 method directly? Shall we just cross check? Will it print the value of x to me? Compiled, fine. Done. All these three are the possible ways of creating object of your inner class and calling the method of your inner, right? So this particular syntax you should be in a position to understand. Brahan, I think this particular statement gives you a picture about a question whatever you have asked in the chat box previously.
Yes, yes.
Yes, but sir, I not creating object here. See, I am not holding the reference of the object. I am not holding the reference of the object. I am creating object, and during the creation itself, I am calling that particular method. I am not doing anything else with respect to that object, just directly calling the method. Say for example, if you have an intention of, say for example, after creating in object, if you want to access in object dot x is equal to something, then you cannot go with all these things. You have to create object, keep that one reference, then put some values with respect to that object, right? I'm just showing you different possible ways of calling the inner class method by creating reference of an outer class object, then by using that reference create a object of an inner class, then by using that particular object call the method. We can apply this syntax to a previous classes, yes, but in the previous classes we didn't take any no problem, we can apply. But in the previous examples, we didn't had a reference. That means we didn't had a concept of a nested classes. So there was no concept of first creating a outer class, then creating inner class and all those things. If you want to access something like, say for example, within a class X, you have a method m1. You can directly write new x dot m1 can be written.
Sir,
Yes.
I don't know why it's the previous examples not work if we make it the method ml int. Can you try it once?
Okay. Your question was, you wanted to make this one as a int,
Yeah.
right? When I'm making it as a int, it
You
has
cannot-
to return me some value.
Yes.
Let it return some 1,
Yeah.
right? When this method is returning a 1, then obviously I need to attach this value. That means once I execute a m1, it will be returning some value to me. I will equate this one to some variable called a, right?
Okay.
So here system dot out dot println, whatever is the content of a, let it print here, right? So now what should be our output? First time it has to print 10 here, because you are writing system dot out dot println statement here. Then it will be printed, 1 will be returned, and a 1 need to be printed from a main method. Compiled, fine. Clear, right? This is the program and this is the output. Any questions? See, we have just seen one normal working example of a nested classes. If you are comfortable with the normal working of a nested class, I will introduce you to a different categories that we have and that we need to discuss with respect to nested class. we'll end this session and I will start another session.